So the willingness to be lonely. Back in, I'd say, the winter of 1998, I got this fantastic assignment to go interview Sir John Templeton. And as many of you know, Templeton was one of the greatest investors of the last century. At the time, he was 85 years old. If you had invested in the Templeton Growth Fund, over 38 years, he compounded at a rate of about 15% a year. As a result, your $10,000 would turn into $2 million. And in fact, his returns, that doesn't really reflect his returns because he was an extraordinary investor really for about 60 or so years. So he defines this ability to have great success over a long period. Now, Templeton lived in this gated community called Lyford Cay in the Bahamas, which was a fascinating place. He had decided early in his life he was going to save. He saved half of the money that he made early in his career, and then decided with his wife, we're going to be able to live anywhere we want in the world. And so they took a bunch of pieces of paper, figured out that Lyford Cay was the place. Lyford Cay is a place where people like Prince Rainier of Monaco lived. The Aga Khan had a house there. Sean Connery had a house there. I think part of Thunderball, the Bond movie, was filmed there. So this was a pretty sweet gig to go in the middle of winter to go interview Templeton, this great guru in Lyford Cay. And I remember as I came up to his house, there's actually, as you walked along the porch of his house, an electronic dog starts barking. And I had this quandary whether I should out him in this article as having this fake security, which of course I did mention in the article. So Templeton is kind of this giant at this period, right? This 85-year-old who was really the pioneer of international investing. He was the first great fund manager in America to venture abroad and say, why should I just be looking for bargains in the US? So the most memorable experience, strangely, with Templeton was not, in fact, anything that he said. It was watching him one morning when he was exercising, and he didn't actually know that I was there. So I'm on the beach in Lyford Cay. This is a very tough assignment. And I hide behind a palm tree because I'm worried that he's going to see that I'm there. And he's in the water. He would do this for 45 minutes every day for many years. And he's in the water up to here, and he's pumping his arms and his legs like this. And he just looks ridiculous. He's wearing this hat with this crazy visor sticking out there and these ear flaps down here, and his face is slathered with sun cream, which he hasn't bothered to rub in. And as I'm watching this, I'm just thinking, this is kind of this extraordinary side. I thought I was going to see this kind of heroic sort of wise sage, and in fact, he just kind of looks like an idiot. And when I got home to New York, I'm thinking about this, and I'm thinking, actually, this is the key to Templeton. What I realized Templeton really embodies is this willingness to be lonely, this willingness to say, this is how I do things, this is a way to act that actually makes sense to me, there's a really efficient exercise. I don't care what anybody thinks of me. And it's an extraordinarily powerful way to think. And this became kind of a metaphor for me when I started thinking about the great investors. That what all of these guys have in common is they're kind of mavericks and free thinkers. They don't go with the crowd. You know, if you want to outperform, you have to be different. And this is something that all of these guys